Hello everybody, it's Maikito. I hope everybody's having a good day. Has had a good day so far. When it comes to today's slate or tomorrow's slate, whenever you're watching this video, it is the biggest slate that I have done when it comes to soccer. Pretty much every single team in La Liga is playing. Every single team in the Italian league's playing. There's just so many teams that are playing. So there was so much research done into this video, which is gonna be a little disappointing player prop wise. Because I only have one right now, but one, it's a big reason for it is because a lot of the games aren't out yet, like prop wise, their normal lines and stuff like that. Two, obviously I'm not gonna force any picks if I don't like them. And three, I do have to work later tonight, so if I didn't have to, I would have been able to have more time to make these picks. But because I have to go to work, there won't be as many picks as I usually do when it comes to these. But I am planning on adding more, and if I do have more, they will probably be later tonight or tomorrow morning when the games are out. I do expect to have more plays. Right now I only have one, again, because there's not many games out and I do have to go to work. So I would really appreciate if everybody liked the video and commented it. Especially this video took a lot of research to do. Again, and if I do have any added plays, will be later tonight. But other than that, I'll just get straight into the plays. The one player prop that I have so far for now is Michele Di Gregorio to go under 2 saves at home for Juventus going up against Udinese. Juventus are fighting for a top 4 spot. They are 4th place, so there is no room for mistake for them, especially because the difference between them, who's in 4th, and 9th place is only 5 points with 2 games to go, including this one. And out of all those teams, they have the best goal difference between them, and defense is going to be key. So not only do they need to win, they need to try to keep them to not shooting in general, not conceding goals. And on average, they only allow 9.8 shots at home, and they're good at stealing the ball, which means not as many Udinese shots in general. Besides, they will also be out Luca and Thauvin, who have 23 goals and assists between them from 39 total goals. So they together contribute to 59% of the total Udinese goals. So in general, Udinese's attack is not going to be as great, especially going against Juventus, was a good defense. He had 2 saves in the first game away from home. Now he's at home. So he's gone under this prop, as in has not got 3 or more, and 75% of games at home, 12 out of 16. And ultimately, this pick is really because I do not see him getting 3. I'm not even sure if Udinese gets 3 shots on target at all. And if they do, I can see one of them going in. But at the end of the day, it's a good defense. They need to fight hard. Udinese technically have nothing, well, not technically, but they have nothing to play for. So I don't see Udinese putting too much of a fight here. And I just don't see him getting 3 saves. So I like Michele Di Gregorio to go under 2 saves. Before I get into the money line plays, as always, I would really appreciate it, like I mentioned earlier, if you could like the video and comment as well. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, turn on notifications so you're notified when these videos are out. And I also do let people know in my Discord if you want to join that. It is not a premium, it is completely free. If you want to join that, you're more than welcome to. It is for those that want to talk about their plays, look at other people's plays, not just soccer, but other sports as well, and talk during the games. Just a good community. You can join that in the description, and all my links for everything, whether it's Outlier, which is all the pictures that you will see on the screen, or all the player prop apps and Moneyline apps that I use, all linked in the description. But other than that, I'll just get straight into the Moneyline plays. My first play is for plus 102, and the first play is Nottingham Forest to win or draw going up against the West Ham. Just ignoring the draw, it's a must-win game for Forest if they want to get the Champions League spots. They have been dropping points after points, and if they can win their last 2 games, then they'll be really close, because their last game after this one is at home against Chelsea, who's another Champions League contestant. So if they can win against West Ham, then they can somehow beat Chelsea, then that pretty much almost guarantees them that Champions League spot. But they beat West Ham 3-0 at home in the first game, so you just need to outscore them or at least keep up. I don't fully trust them to win. I do lean for them to win in general, but I have this little inkling that they might choke and draw, because that's what they've been doing lately. But I just do not see them losing in this game. Other than the Man U game for West Ham, which was the most recent game, West Ham had conceded in 9 games straight, and even then, when they just played Man U were projected to score 2.23 goals, so they were really I'm not going to say lucky, but they should have conceded at least 1 goal. And Forest has scored in 83% of games, 15 out of 18. And the main reason I say that is because, 1, I don't see West Ham scoring 2, so Forest can keep up, if not outscore them. And if they somehow score 2, they can also do it as well. Nottingham Forest is good on counters, they're good on set pieces, and has 2 of West Ham's biggest weaknesses in general. Neither of the 2 teams play possession, which just means more chances for Forest than what they usually would get. And I just don't see them losing this game. So I like Nottingham Forest to win or draw going up against West Ham. And then the second play is also in the Premier League, and that's Leicester City to win or draw, going up against Ipswich Town. There's two already relegated teams, which technically neither team has much to play for, but Leicester's going to be playing much harder than Ipswich Town, because not only is it Leicester's last home game before they get relegated down to the Championship, but it's also Jamie Vardy's last game in his career in general, let alone at home. Well, at home in general, but I say that because they will fight hard for him. If you watch this sport and you watch soccer, you know how important Jamie Vardy is to Leicester in general. And I just don't see them losing, especially because, again, they have a lot to play for, just like mental-wise, not even for trying to get promoted or anything, because it's impossible at this point. And in 3 games across 2 seasons, they played once in the Prem and twice in the Championship last season. They drew all those games, and every single one of them were 1-1. But at the end of the day, they didn't lose any of those games. So Ipswich have only won 3 away games. So for opponents, this prop has hit an 83% of games for them. And I went to all 3 of those games in which they won. First of all, they were all narrow wins. But when I went specifically into them, they beat Bournemouth 2-1 with 2 shot, 5 save performance, and 1 clearance off the line from their from one of the defenders. They beat Spurs 2-1, and it took a 5 save, 1.43 expected goal performance from their keeper, and a 1-2 win the Wolves with the 5 save, 1.46 performance from the opponent. So even in all those games, they were really close, and they could have easily drawn or even lost that game. But I don't see that happening against Leicester, because in general, again, Ipswich don't have no reason to really fight as hard. Obviously, they're not going to try to lose, but what I'm saying is they don't have that motivation that Leicester does. And you can call it a gut call if you want to, but I don't see Leicester losing this game either. So I like Leicester City to win or draw going up against Ipswich, and that's the first slip that I have for plus 102. My second slip I have for minus 121, and the first one, this was in the Italian Serie A, and that's Venezia to score going up against Cagliari. They're in danger of being relegated with they're only 1 point above the relegation zone, and their last game is against Juventus, which is extremely hard. So they need to take advantage of this matchup. This is by far their best game that they have left. Scoring is necessary, obviously, for them to be safe, and they have been fighting. And honestly, in the last couple games, because they've been fighting, they've been doing well, and they haven't lost the last 8 out of 10 games, and they have scored in the last 5 out of 6 games in general, and they have scored in 61% of away games, and have scored in 4 straight away games as well, while Cagliari have conceded 28 goals in 18 games at home. And Cagliari is the reason why Venezia didn't get promoted last season. Last season, they were both in the Serie B. They had to play each other in the playoffs. The winner got promoted or stayed, and the loser had to stay in the Serie B. And Cagliari beat Venezia. So there's, I guess, a little bit of a rivalry there as well. And I guess that also carried over into the league, because in the first game when they played them away, they beat them 2-1. So they were able to score 2 against them at home, where Venezia actually scored less. Now they're playing them away from home in a game in which they need to win. And Cagliari have conceded in the last 8 out of 10 games and 15 out of 18 at home. So they have conceded in 83% of home games, and Venezia have much more to play for than Cagliari. Cagliari is not a good defense, so I see Venezia scoring in this game, so I like Venezia to score going up against Cagliari. And then the second one is in Spain, in La Liga, and that's Mallorca to score at home going up against Getafe. I took advantage of the weak Getafe form last time they played, and I'm doing it again for Mallorca. Getafe have lost 6 straight, obviously conceded in 6 straight, and have conceded in the last 12 out of 13 games, and Getafe is essentially safe. A lot would have to go wrong for them to get relegated, but they're pretty much safe. Mallorca is actually fighting for a top 8 spot, and this is their last home game, so they need to take advantage of it as well. They have scored in 72% of home games, which is 13 out of 18, and Muriqi is back from injury, and in the 4 games in that little injury span that he wasn't able to play, Mallorca were unable to score in 3 out of 4 games without him, and now he's back. They scored in the first game away from home, where Getafe is much more better defensively, but they were able to score from a penalty, which could happen again in this game, honestly. Getafe fouled the second most, which really they almost pretty much foul the most. There's the only difference on averages is 0.1, so like not a tenth of a foul. So they're pretty much fouled the most in the league. They have the second most yellows. They have the most red cards, and they've conceded the second most penalties in general. So that could happen again. Mallorca could easily score from a penalty, but they can also score from open play as well. And they need to take advantage of Getafe's bad form in general if they want that top 8 spot. And Mallorca play a lot of long balls and crosses, and the Getafe have made a lot of defensive mistakes, especially lately. And when it comes to long balls and crosses, it just takes one easy mistake from a defender to misjudge the long ball, misjudge the cross, or not clear it out correctly for a Mallorca player to pounce on that that. And with Muriqi back, me expecting for them to play him next to Larin, 2 strikers, I don't see Mallorca not scoring in this game. So I like Mallorca to score at home, going against Getafe, and I like this lift from -121. Thank you everybody for watching. Quickly going over last video's plays. Was so close to sweeping. I didn't want to wear obviously the other robe that I usually wear because I didn't sweep, but I wore this one because it was close and it gives us good luck as well. But I had the Leon at a play to get at least 4 saves. He went over. I believe he had 6. We had Ostergaard to go under 10.5 clearances. Not too long after I released the video, it got bumped down to 9.5. Even if you took it there, he still went over, which is good for us. And then the only one that missed was Almada to take 3 shots. He only took 1. He was passing the ball way more than I thought. And Leon had the shots. He just wasn't the one shooting, so that was unfortunate. And then the slip did hit. Frankfurt to not lose that hit, and Bayern to score 2 that hit. So close to sweeping. It was a 3-in-1 day, and hopefully we can carry on that momentum going into the, this slate here. Like I mentioned before, I will probably very likely have added plays. It was a big slate, and I didn't have as many player props, but again, there weren't many games out. Not many that I liked at all. And 2, I have to go to work, so I'm trying to get this video out when I can. But other than that, I hope everybody has a good night, a good day, and we can cash out tomorrow.